This, my friends, is a Specialized Prevail 3, and I think it's one of the best helmets on the market today. What's up, guys? If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris, and here we explore some of the best products and places in the world. I like to think I'm a little bit like you. I hold down a normal 9-to-5 job. I ride about 7,500 miles a year. I enter the occasional race, and I don't get paid to ride a bike. But man, do I love smashing the pedals with friends in between social, real world, work, and life obligations. As I mentioned in the video about the Evade 3, I think oftentimes people think that helmets are not something to be excited about, and I disagree. See, I think within a good helmet, you have comfort, performance, and sometimes a little bit of an aerodynamic advantage. Find a good helmet, and it could be something that will last you much, much longer than the bike that you're currently riding. Prevail 2 was a helmet that I grabbed for road, mountain, as well as gravel riding. It was an incredible all-around helmet. Hot days in the saddle, grab the Prevail. Climbing days, grab the Prevail. Basically, any time that I wasn't concerned about having some kind of an aerodynamic advantage with the Evade, I grabbed the Prevail, and I was happy every single time. The only complaint I ever had about the Prevail was that I didn't so much care for the look. Now, fast forward to the Prevail 3, and I think Specialized has fixed that. As always, I offer a real world perspective as someone who's ridden this helmet for over 100 miles. If you're looking for tech specs and really like a deep dive into the numbers, I recommend going to the brand website. Aesthetically, I think the Prevail is a solid 9 out of 10. Right out of the box, I think it looks great, and most importantly, it looks modern, which I can't say about the previous Prevail. The Prevail 3 is a little bit slimmer and a little bit sleeker than the outgoing model. This particular model is the Team Edition, so it has some black accents, a little bit underneath, a little bit on the sides, and a giant black S-Works on the side of the helmet. And nothing out there screams expensive like a giant S-Works on the side of something. Am I right? Unlike the Evade 3, where I noted that the rear diffuser looked like it had gotten larger, when I look at the Prevail 2 and the Prevail 3, it looks like on the Prevail 3, the rear diffuser has gotten a little bit smaller, and they've added these kind of rear vents in the corner. I think it looks much better, it's more modern, and it just looks like a polished, proper helmet for 2022. This helmet isn't without its quirks though. This does have the same issue that the Evade has, although not as pronounced. It still has a bit of that gap. See, because it's a little bit slimmer, a little bit sleeker, it seems to sit higher on the head. Therefore, you have a bigger gap between the bottom of your sunglasses and the top of your helmet. Not a big deal if you're wearing really big sunglasses, but if you're wearing older style sunglasses, it may be time for an upgrade, because if those sunglasses look small before, they look like kids' sunglasses with these new modern helmets. My personal opinion, and of course this is aesthetic, so it's subjective, is that if you're going to wear the new Prevail 3 and you want to close that gap, you really don't want to have a pair of sunglasses that's any smaller than the 100% S3s. Personally, I will be wearing the Glendales, which I think are massive. You know, I'll never forget the first time that I bought a Prevail helmet. See, I was always an Aero helmet guy, and so I had all the generations of the Evade, and then I finally bought a Prevail, and I understood what all the hype was about. It's immediately a very, very comfortable and cool helmet, and the Prevail 3 is no exception. For me, there are no pressure points, there's no discomfort, it just fits right. The ventilation is fantastic, it feels very, very cool, and I don't know if Specialized has released aerodynamic data on this helmet, but I can't help but imagine that it's just a hair faster than the outgoing model. When it comes to performance and comfort, the Prevail 3 gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It's also just so light that you don't even notice that it's there. And that's one of the things that I love about these modern non-aero helmets, is they are just incredibly light and incredibly well ventilated and cool. If it's a hot day this summer, you can guarantee that I'm grabbing the Prevail 3. At $300, this helmet came in a little bit higher than I was expecting. I thought that Specialized would keep this at the $250 price point, so I was a little bit shocked when I came up to the register and it was $300. That being said, I think what Specialized is trying to do is position it as a high performance, comfortable, incredibly well ventilated helmet. So if you want that, you've got the $300 Prevail 3. If you want something that's comfortable and has aerodynamics with still some good ventilation, you've got the Evade 3, also at $300. And look, with the way that costs are rising on things, I think it just is what it is. At $300, I still think there's a lot of value in this helmet. Just like shoes, I feel like a good fitting, comfortable, and lightweight helmet is worth spending a few extra dollars on, especially if you plan to keep it for a couple years. Heck, just the updated safety and protection features that are in these helmets, I think justify an upgrade and the purchase price. If you're looking at alternative helmets at this price point, the Evade 3 is probably gonna be your next go-to. That's gonna be much more aerodynamic, but lack the ventilation that the Prevail 3 has. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit more of an all-arounder at a $300 price point, I think the Protone Icon is probably right in that sweet spot between aero and ventilation. There you have it, the Prevail 3, the biggest upgrade to the Prevail in the last 4 to 5 years. And I think they did a fantastic job. So much so that this will be one of 2 or 3 helmets in my collection that I will use over the next several years. I really, really like it. I hope this video has been helpful. I'll post a link to the Evade 3 video that I did recently. If you have any questions about those, shoot me a message on Instagram, drop me a comment below. And until next time,